Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Actually, I'm Benazir Khan, aka Khan Bibi. Um, I also have a couple of groups in Facebook. One is called Benazir's blog. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Uh, Benazir's blog. um, a cooking guide, and that it's just like, and plus I got, oh my god, my niqab is falling apart on me, Toba. Actually, it's because actually this group itself I had made it Facebook based on my blog, um, and actually, it's just like I want to, say sorry to my followers and everything who are, especially who are in my group and everything, that what had happened, is just like prior to the inauguration of our president, which I voted for President Biden and Vice President Harris. Well, actually, since I did mention them, I want to say congratulations. I'm very glad, I had voted for you. Now we can have our democracy back and our normalcy. And I pray to Allah, inshallah, we have, it's just like we can at least get over this pandemic and get this behind us. And actually, I'm an asthmatic. That's why I'm coughing. I'm not sick. I don't have Rona. So, but actually, the reason why I named this the Q&A, because I want to get have some suggestions and everything for actually um any suggestions and everything that you want me to cover, but I won't make anything haram at all whatsoever. Because I keep a strict Zabia kitchen. Um, and actually, right in my head right now, I'm thinking about a new recipe that I want to work on. And so I just, want to go ahead and, it's just like, it's just like, but when I make this particular dish, inshallah, I'm going to post it on my blog. So so actually it's something that's in the works as we're speaking right now. Um, Also that I'm, because one thing I just actually when because one thing when or and also when this video goes up in my channel, for those who don't follow me in Facebook, you can follow me in Instagram at Benazir'S, Benazir'S underscore blog underscore Snapchat Mrs. Khan for you, um, and and LinkedIn, um, the Twitter, and Facebook. I'm just simply known as well, especially LinkedIn and Facebook. I'm simply known as Benazir. And when you come across someone who has a niqab on, wears glasses, and has her husband in the standing right behind her and everything else like that, and has a food blog called Benazir'S blog, you come to the right place. Also, I have a fan page called Benazir'S blog that I had made in Facebook as well, and you may also want to check that out. And because anyway, because before I can post these recipes to my blog and everything, that I man, it sucks having asthma, but that's neither here or there. I mean, it's just like one thing it's just like I would you know very much love to have this Q&A, um and like in actually in Discord I have my own server. It's called Han Bibi. Actually, it's my name is Han Bibi in Discord, and also here in YouTube. So and but actually Discord is predominantly mostly like for gamers. So yeah, I also play RuneScape. So any RuneScape foodies can also find me in RuneScape playing foodies can also find me in Discord. So um and and I mean, and Twitter, I'm simply known as BR Han. Um, ouch. Ee. I mean, because, actually, like, I want to keep this, positive for right now because even though there's like some kind of other, you know, there's a bunch of, people who are, a bunch of things that I'm going through right now, and I don't care to really want to talk about it right now. I mean, because I have been, but I have been very vocal about it on my Facebook page. But, but I have to say, like, one thing, like, with my Q&A, because I just want to keep the positivity going. I just want to, just, you know, leave the negativity and stuff off of here. So, but I mean, because, there's, different things that I'm doing, especially on my blog. I mean, especially that I'm revamping on how to make Pakistani matai. It's just like, one thing and everybody who's been reading my blog and everything else like that, they, it's just like, for me, the sugar-free matai is like, is because my own health problems and everything when I do eat something very sweet and everything. I cut out white sugar in my diet for a reason because I have horrible asthma. And when I do eat something very sweet, it's a mucus magnet, and and actually I end up getting sick as a result from eating too much sugar. So I had to stop eating it because that it would make me horribly congested, and actually, having to deal with pre-existing conditions other than asthma, besides asthma, I mean, I also have high triglycerides, and that also comes as from I paid a high price for that for having a sweet tooth, and actually, my ethnic background, as you may or may not know, I am German, and we had definitely have a sweet tooth, um, and we love our pastries. um, but then again, I found out other ethnic groups and uh, and they love their sweets too. Um, Especially Indian Pakistanis, they love their burfis and jalebis and gulab jamuns and halwas, and the list goes on and on and on and on. The gulab jamuns is kind of like similar to like almost like a fried dough, and it's soaked in syrup, rose flavor syrup, and but I made like the sugar free gulab jamun that is on my blog. Um, I'm also because there's also one Turkish dessert called lokma, which is almost similar, but I was just like I want to make the sugar free version of that too for my blog, inshallah. And the Turkish flour halva, to me, actually I had made it a couple times. It was before I started blogging and everything else like that. But the Turkish flour halva to me tastes very similar to like cookie dough, and I really do love the taste of cookie dough. I'm guilty on that one. um, I also very much because I want to see because one thing I've been collecting recipes how to make sugar free desserts and everything else like that, and see if I can try my hand at it, and then it's just like and then and then and just see if how mine turns out. If mine turns out okay, I'm going to definitely put it on my blog to show you how I did it and everything else like that. So I mean, because some people have they have a different method of doing things that may work okay for some, may not work um for other people's and stuff like that, and that goes me included. I try to find like an easier way of doing certain things that's less daunting. And especially like homemade sugar-free cakes, and my homemade salt caramel, my homemade sugar-free salted caramel was absolutely the bomb. Because when I when I started it in the microwave and everything else like then it was like, oh my god, it was like almost like a disaster. So anyway, because it was started to spill out and everything. I'm not going to lie, okay? And even though I may or may not have posted that in my blog, but it's just like, and so that's the reason why I have written it, which works for me specifically. only stovetop instructions. Um, and it's just like, and it's pretty awesome. I mean, because it's just like I mean, and it's just like, and the agave nectar tastes like caramel itself. Honestly, I mean, it's just like, it just tastes so good. Honestly, and I mean, but if it's just like, one thing, and is especially like um using the agave nectar and things like cakes and certain things is it's pretty awesome. And what else? I mean, it's just like, I have to say, like I mean, especially like I think, especially, what the when you make certain dishes, like I mean, like, it's just like, for an example, like, like seafood dishes is like one of my favorites I like to make. Um, and it's because I very much love fish, and fish is, extremely, extremely healthy choice of protein to eat. Um, and I mean, to me, it's like healthier than chicken even. And and like, one thing is just like, there's, like especially like, in some places, like in, like the like, the southern states, were especially like, or like up in parts of Wisconsin and Minnesota and Michigan up there, some people, they would get their hunting license and stuff like that. They would go and they would shoot, and they would go hunt deer, or possibly even a rabbit or something like that. No, rabbit, not you from the After Prison show. Actually, going to shout out to him anyway. Actually, this dude, he's just like, actually, it's just like, he knows I watched, the After Prison show, and is that and I know he loves to go fishing. And it's just like, and I have to say, when I was a kid, I used to like to go fishing too, especially with my dad. But I mean, but then again, I'm thinking about, I'm getting very emotional right now. Um, but I have to say one thing about the fresh caught fish is to die for. When you sit there, you clean it properly and everything else like that. And I mean, it's just like, and I leave instructions in my blog, if you have like fresh that fish that has been frozen right there whole and it has not even been cleaned, and and you take like a spoon, okay, you take a spoon, and you take like the front end of it, and the very tip of the bottom of the spoon, and you sit there, you drag it on the body, from you start from the tail and you work yourself slowly to the head, and and the scales will pop off easily. And then after you did that, you take out their gills and the gills will pop out very easily. And then you take easily you take the, a knife. So it's just like it could be like a paring knife or basically a regular steak knife if you have it, and cut the fish on its belly. And then you remove all of the internal organs and everything else like that from the fish and everything else like that. Make sure it's clean and everything. And you rinse the fish very well. And then, you put like lemon juice on the fish, to kill the smell after you clean it. And then you can season it as you like. It's either that or if um, you go from there, you can apply what seasoning you want. You can bake it, you can grill it, um, you can smoke it. But it's just like anyway, I want to apologize because the last video and everything else like that, when I did the zira alu and the smoked fish, I didn't get a chance to you know show you the finished end product of that. But you can read it on my blog, the text version of it, because when I was reading from the text version of my blog post on how to make the smoked fish and everything. And it's just like, obviously, um it turned out to be very delicious. um and and it's just like, I have to say, just also put in the comments below, and please do not forget to and share, and subscribe if you like this content. um because it's just like, I want to bring some more of this content and everything, and keep this evenly positive vibe going. And and actually, I want to send shout out to McMean True Story, um, and and um, Joe from the After Prison Show, Banky, and Dave as well. And it's just like, I hope you guys are doing okay and everything. And and also, I also want to send a shout out to Bad Bob. And you guys, please continue to discourage these people who think going to jail is cool when it's not. And this is just like, one thing. It's just like, I really like your movement and your vibe and everything else like that. And especially want to send a shout out to Mighty Mouse, because I like his vibe, because he's uh, showing people how to box and have them put their weapons down and everything. Especially like in this time is very dangerous and everything. I pray to God. It's just like, I pray to Allah that people would see some sense, and and stop picking up these guns and shooting other people. And just like, especially, it's it's too easy to sit there and pull a stinking trigger. I mean, it's just like, one thing, if you like have like a beef with somebody, So it's just like, and I'm practicing what I preach. If I have a beef with somebody, I tell someone point blank that I don't like what they're doing. I never talk behind other people's backs. And, it's just like, one thing, Stephanie, aka the Cole, aka Jersey B in Discord and in Facebook. Just I'm going to tell you something right now. You don't even know me. I didn't enjoy you having a pissing contest with me on Discord. And it's just like, and I don't go around threatening people. And I don't like being lied on. And it's just I wish Discord would do a better job at hiding blocked messages, especially for people, like you I had blocked. And it's just like, one thing, especially this stupid chick was trying to outright trying to discredit me and scapegoat me. And I don't want any of that drama. And I ended up having to leave that um, after prison show group um, in Discord, you know, uh, because of her nonsense. I'm a very peace loving person and everything else like that. I try to stay positive even when, it's just like in even when, sometimes when I'm feeling my worst. I mean, and there's times I burn this horrible energy by getting up and wanting to dance. Honestly, swear for Allah, we Germans love to dance. But I mean, but but it's just like usually like in my own Discord channel, it's just like because when I get done posting this will go into my Discord channel for people who want to look at it there. And because I had already shared this to my group in Facebook, Benazir'S blog, a cooking guide. Um, and I mean, because you know this this person, who I had a beef with and everything, and it was legit. I mean, because it's just like I'm not going to sit there and I'm too old for this. And especially from a little snot grabber, who is like same age as my daughters. And I let it be known that I do not even take this mess off my own daughters or anybody else in my family. And it's just like, and like one thing. I mean, it's just like, and like one thing. I mean, because I have a bona fide and legitimate reason for feeling how I feel. So, I mean, because I'm, it's just like trying to explain myself and everything without having to use profanity. I mean, especially, it's just like it does me a lot of good to sit there and get this at least off my chest. But I mean, because like one thing is just like I just don't like people because I had more than enough of being scapegoated from when I was a kid growing up and everything else like that. And and I didn't take it off of them either. And a lot of times, and not bragging, that I ended up getting into fights with people because I was bullied when I was in school. And the teacher, all she did was just sit there and watch. And it's just like, and then guess what? I was a scapegoat. I ended up getting suspended, and the person who did the bullying got away scot free, which is really unfair. And I mean, but it's just like, but I have to say, like, a lot of people, there's people who have known me since I was in high school and I have reconnected with and everything. And I just want to say, I'm not, this time I'm not dropping any names, but but you know who you are and everything. All I wanted to do is just say thank you. And I mean, because one thing is just like, y'all are awesome peeps and everything else like that. So, and especially, there's an old saying: you never, you never, tread on people who are decent, cause you never know when you're going to need them next. And this is the truth. So, anyway, um, please kindly leave the comments below on what, or in especially in my group, um, Benazir'S blog, a cooking guide. Leave the comments below in this video about which recipes you want me to cover, either veg or non-veg. Um, and another thing, I don't use any cooking wine or anything else like that. That's totally, off. But because, like, anyway, there's one Chinese recipe I used, some non-alcohol free mirin. I had got it from an Oriental store, but actually, I found out there is an H Mart somewhere here in Chicago, and I'm going to try to get my husband to take it. It's like a large Asian supermarket. Because my favorite, one of my favorite vegetables, and I gotten to like it a lot. It's called lotus fruit, and Pashto it's called basande, and in Urdu and Henko it's called pay. So anyway, this is just like, I haven't had this in a long time. And actually, I wish they would sell pamanki, which is like a vegetable that's, actually, that's the Pashto name. The Henko name for this vegetable is called chunga, and it's has a flavor just like Karela. It's very bitter. Karela is bitter gourd, and it's just like you can either use make it with or without uh meat. And this is just like one thing because I didn't see any pamanki, so I had to use like Karela as a substitute for this dish. And Karela is no, not Karela. Karela is, for those who don't know, the bitter gourd is very bumpy, like um, and it's like a dark green. The Chinese version of Karela is like rounder, and a little bit rounder, and it's like oval shape, and it's rounder, and it's still bumpy, but it's not smooth, but it's like a paler green. But the Indian Pakistani Karela is very pointy at the ends, and it's extremely bumpy. And those you can buy at any Indian or Pakistani grocery store. Um, but the chunga goes according, or pamanki goes according to like the seasons. It depends on what part of Pakistan you're from. I mean, because this is especially native to Peshawar, Pakistan, where my family is from. So, and it's just like, actually, one of my sister-in-laws who sent me this marvelous niqab, and this this abaya, this burqa right here, this abaya, and she was telling me about how much she loves my chunga, my pamanki. Um, but then again, it's just like I this is just like one thing. I mean, because it's just like, if especially like if anybody, because I have covered jambalaya. Uh, I also covered like chicken gumbo, chicken and dressing, uh, beans and cornbread with smoked turkey. Um, but then there's like different types of beans, especially like in the southern part of the United States. Like purple whole peas, Crowder peas, and I think I did black eyed peas and pinto beans too. But I'm going to have to sit there and I'm going to have to look just to make sure. And it's just like I did sweet potato pie. I think I should also do homemade banana pudding and um, peach cobbler. Um, Please put down in the comments and everything down below, um, and it's just like, give me some feedback, please. And anyway, I'll talk to y'all later, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.